There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to 0. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to 0. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to 0. That's back from high school algebra. But let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
We recognize different ages for different purposes. We recognize 18 for the draft. We recognize 16 for driving in some states. We recognize 21 for drinking. So we recognize different ages for different purposes. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Could I have a second to engage that?
Certainly. I'll yield to the gentleman from Kentucky.
Would the chairman join me in co-sponsoring a bill to raise the draft age to 21?
No.
But the chairman feels that their brains aren't fully formed at 18, 19, and 20.
The research does indicate that in certain respects, but the Selective Service needs, I mean, if the country needs people, it needs people.
It needs people whose brains aren't fully formed?
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. The idea that Los Angeles and what am I doing here? For 2 reasons. One, we haven't been able to communicate it in a way that is, let me say another way. But the nature, not a solid meeting with they make a very good point. Here's the deal. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers.
We want to expand pre-K for 3- and 4-year-olds, millions of pre-K students. Let's be clear. I hear it all the time. Cumulative deficit, I can play for the programs many times.
Lucifer, come here.
And I'm just
just sick of seeing him. I know he says he's going to retire. Someone needs to grab that little elf and chuck him across the Potomac.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Welcome back to another night of Shtick with Koolfrogg. You know, I had some fun today. Made sure I got some extra clips in there for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the little intro. Of course, you know what to do to get shirts to come in here. You got to chant them in here for whatever reason every single night. It's all right, brother. We got you. Let's give you, I suppose we can give you a camera. There you go. Hello, everybody. Let's see. We got Jess is in the house, of course. Best mod in the world. Hello, Ish. How you doing? If you made it back from grabbing your food. What's up, Toy Box? Good to see you, brother. Who's here? Melissa Jane. Awesome. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. What else we got here? Ash and Kirk. Glad you're all here. It's awesome. Moose Nut. 1975 with a question mark. What's 1975? You gotta enlighten me a little bit. That there's hair irritates you. Yeah, it's kind of something. It's a little different. TR, good to see you, brother. Just kind of scrolling down through here. Debbie, good to see you, dear. Gene XO, glad you're here. Oh no, Dwight Zombie in the house. Awesome, good to see you, brother. We actually have somebody sitting over on the Twitch side. That's good to see. Good to see. Glad you're here. Lucky Chucky, how you doing? The Michael Malloy show is in the house. Wow. It's very, very interesting to see that you're not actually live streaming at this current second. It's like that's all you've been doing is live streaming every day, all day. Tish, how you going, dude? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. I was kind of hoping with all that you know AmericaShirts would have brought him in here because it's what that was a good 10-minute introduction, saying hi to everybody and whatnots. Take a look at Discord here real quick to see what's going on. Give him a let's go. Mike Cohagen. What's up, man? Good to see you. 47 years equals 19. I get that. Being that I was born in 77 myself, I totally understand that. But what's that have to do with the price of tea in China? Explain to me what you're throwing 1975 around for 47 years. What is Oh, you're looking at my thumbnail. I got you. I got you. Yeah, he's been around for that long. And that was just the years in Senate. That's not including the years that he sat as vice president and then waited around for 4 years to actually become, president himself. He's actually been part of this for the better part of almost 60 years. It's ridiculous. Printer God, good to see you, my man. Awesome. You're up to 18 people sitting in here right now. I suppose I can give you something. I was kind of hoping to trigger AmericaShirts with the majority of this stuff. Let's see. We'll start off with this one here. So, Pentagon pauses F-35 deliveries after discovering a jet component came from China. Like, there's anything new? Like, we didn't realize that the majority of the stuff that the United States is producing comes out of China. We outsource and so much stuff, it's ridiculous. 40 years of dedicated service aiming for 1984. No, dude. Dwight, no. No, that's not what we're aiming for. When you actually look at it and you actually go and do the research on how long he's been around for a long time. So anyway, Pentagon pauses F-35 deliveries. So it says the Pentagon paused deliveries of F-35 fighter jets to U.S. military branches and global allies after manufactured Lockheed Martin discovered one of the plane's components was sourced from China. Political reports Wednesday the component is a magnet used as the F-35's turbo machine pumps and is reportedly contains an alloy sourced from China. Pentagon officials have reportedly alerted to the issue on August 19th. Officials say it does not affect the F-35s that are ready in service. Like, because, yeah, we got those from somewhere else. Oh, that's an interesting thought there, Dwight. I got you. U.S. procurement laws prohibited sourcing supplies of military equipment from foreign adversaries. Are you sure about that? Is that what's I doubt that's always been what is supposed to, or I believe that's what it's supposed to be, but I doubt that's what it's always been. I really seriously highly doubt that. We have confirmed that the magnet does not transmit information to harm the integrity of the aircraft, and there's no performance, quality, safety, or security risks associated with the issue. The flight operations for the F-35 and service fleet will continue as normal. Sure, they will. While Lockheed is responsible for building each F-35, the turbo machine pumps were built by Honeywell, according to Politico. The F-35s in America's fifth-generation stealth fighter jet, and its design is a closely guarded secret. Yeah, how closely guarded is it? The report comes roughly a month after the U.S. Air Force ordered all in-service F-35s to stand down for the day due to concerns over faulty ejection seats. Faulty ejection seats? Really? What's up, Tony G? Good to see you. Out of the abundance of caution, Air Combat Command units will execute a stand down on July 29th to expedite the inspection process. Air Combat Command said that in a statement of Fox News Digital at the time, based on the data gathered from other inspections, ACC will make a determination to resume operations. So, if you hadn't actually done any research on any of this and actually know who Lockheed Martin is and who actually has funded Lockheed Martin, who has stock in Lockheed Martin, you might be greatly surprised how many people in our Congress actually have a lot to do with that. Quite a few Congress members, I would assume, actually have a lot to do with Lockheed Martin. I'm going to pour myself a little drink here. It's supposed to be before we go any further. If you actually can't see, whatever, here you go. I put up a new flag behind me that says "Let's go, Brandon." Not that the Trump flag went away; it's just underneath it at the moment. Preppian says it's a revolving door between pharma, defense, and politics. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much what it comes down to. That's all it really is. Yeah, oh, just a little bit. A little bit, Dwight. I see you. I see your question. Alcohol? Yeah, usually have a tendency to actually have a little bit. I don't go to the point of actually getting drunk. I just have a nice little glass of whiskey. So y'all not thinking that this big glass of is just whiskey. I actually put some water in it because what it is, it's cheap whiskey. Drinking cheap whiskey without water, you can hurt yourself. See, Seagram 7. So when I pick this glass up and y'all look at me and be like, "Oh man, he's gonna drink that?" Yeah, I'm gonna drink it. But there is, let's see, there's at least that much water in there. So half of that glass is water. Tony G says, "Let's go, Brandon." Yep, buddy. Tonic, I see you, brother. Gangsters initially cycle into prison, get a few months of food, working out, and free health care, then back to the streets. Politicians do the time in office, then board a corporation. Yeah, really what it comes down to it when you think about it. Tony G says, "I'm a tequila guy. I do like myself a little bit of tequila here and there. I just haven't been able to actually afford myself a decent bottle of tequila. I can't drink Jose Cuervo. No, just not going to do it. Won't do it. Can't force me to do it. That's one thing that I can't do. I look at the bottle when I'm buying 7 and 7. No, I hear you, Ankirk. But I have a tendency to try staying away from as much carbonation as possible. It's usually just not a good thing for me. I'm into gin and tonic lately. Yeah, I mean, gin and tonic's a good one. Susie says was watching Joe and Ricada. I was actually watching Joe and Ricada myself. It's hard for me to actually go at Ricada o'clock myself, knowing that Ricada is actually live and that I'm going to get a minimal audience as is anyway. So, real quick here. See if AmericaShirts is going to bring himself on. Let's go, brother. Just so everybody kind of gets a point that where we were going with that last article. I'll pull up a Wikipedia page here for you. There you go. Lockheed Martin Corporation is an American aerospace, arms, defense, information security, and technology corporation with worldwide interests. It was formed by and merger with Lockheed Corporation in Martin, Marietta in March of 1995. Headquartered in North Bethesda, Maryland, in the Washington, D.C. area, Lockheed Martin employs approximately 115,000 employees worldwide, including about 60,000 engineers and scientists in January 2022. Lockheed Martin is one of the largest companies in aerospace, military support, security, and technologies industry. It is the world's largest defense contractor by revenue for fiscal year 2014. In 2013, 78% of Lockheed Martin's revenues came from military sales. It topped the list of U.S. federal government contractors and received nearly 10% of the funds paid by the Pentagon. In 2009, U.S. government contracts accounted for $38.4 billion, foreign government contracts and $5.8 billion, and commercial and other contracts at $900 million. Half the corporation's annual sales to the U.S. Department of Defense. Lockheed Martin is also a contract for U.S. Department of Energy and National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Lockheed Martin operates in 4 business segments: aeronautics, missiles, and fire control, rotary and mission systems, and space. The company has received the Collier Trophy 6 times, including in 2001 for being part of the developing the X-35 F-35B lift fan propulsion system. Most recently, in 2018, the automatic ground collision avoidance system. Lockheed Martin is currently developing F-35 Lightning II and leads the international supply chain. Leads the team in development and implementation of technology solutions for the new USAF space fence, and the primary contractor for the development of the Orion command module. The company also invests in healthcare systems. Oh, really? Renewable energy systems, intelligent energy distribution, and compact nuclear fusion. You can see that they've actually been around, since the 1990s. Let's look at the board of directors here. Board of directors consist of 14 members. I bet we could come across, if we went and we clicked on any of these names that allowed us to click on them and found out what else they actually had to do with anything, that would find that they would actually most likely be related to or have something to do with some other form of government for whatever reason. It seems to be the going thing. For anybody that's that thinks opposite might be kind of, misconstrued. So according to the magazine of Politico, Lockheed Martin has a political network that is already the envy of competitors. Its contracts enjoy wide bipartisan support in the U.S. Congress thanks to having perfected the strategy of spreading jobs on weapons programs in key states and congressional districts. The company's 2010 lobbying expenditure by the third quarter was $9.9 million. Through its political action committee, the company provides low levels of financial support to candidates who advocate for national defense and relevant business issues. It has the largest contributor of House Armed Services Committee Chairman, Republican Republican. Why is he Republican? Because why not? Why can't he just be Buck McKean? Oh, because we need to interject politics into everything. Also, top donor is Senator Daniel Inouye, a Democrat out of Hawaii, the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee. I mean, when you think about it, so it's like it's not one side or the other. Like I said over and over again, it's both sides that are bullcrap. It's both sides that actually investing their monies into larger corporations and companies to actually bring themselves to the point of doing this kind of crap. So you wonder why all of a sudden we run into issues like the first article where it says that they actually are getting parts and pieces out of foreign countries that they never were supposed to do, and you look at the politics behind it and you'll understand why. That's what it always comes down to, is the politics behind it. Well, let's see here. Come on, AmericaShirts. Let's do this. Let's see here. Kind of skip around here and stay with some international news off the beginning here. So then it says, no regrets. Sacked minister's wife defends calling Liz Truss an imbecile. So we went through Liz Truss the other day. She's actually the prime minister of the UK currently. So this is the wife of a sacked minister has said that he has no regret, or she has no regrets about an online outburst in which she'd liken the UK's new prime minister Liz Truss to a Muppet. In the wake of Johnny Mercer's dismal dismissal from the government of Veterans Affairs Minister on Tuesday, Felicity Cornelius Mercier launched into a tirade on Twitter, branding Truss an imbecile and slamming a cabinet system that stinks and treats people appallingly. So I know that there was a couple people that have been around lately or whatever that we've spoken with or we've actually talked to that have actually felt the same way about Liz Truss. Here's the issue with Liz Truss right here. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something real fast that'll actually get the point across on why we continue to speak of such things as the World Economic Forum. Well, look at that. Liz Truss, Lord Chancellor and Secretary of State for Justice, Ministry of Justice of the UK, part of the World Economic Forum. There's always something bigger and better out there that these people are actually part of. And now we know why people don't like her. A Muppet. Fozzie Bear? Yeah, maybe. I mean, when it comes down to it, though, this is what they're all involved in. They're all involved in this World Economic Forum, and they always have something bigger and better planned for the rest of the world. They don't care about us. None of them do. They don't care a damn thing about any of us. Koolfrogg Doc says I may need to wear a truss. Memphis has gone completely bonkers. I seen that. I seen that the expert was actually covering that particular article, whatever, or what was actually happening. I kind of watched him for a little bit. I did catch the initial Facebook live that he was trying to do himself, where he actually goes off of on a 9-10 minute little I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. He was rambling. He was rambling for about 9 minutes before he actually goes and walks into the first store and just bam bam and then runs away. Very scary and very disturbing. I'm glad that they actually finally caught up to the guy. If I caught that right, that they actually finally caught up to him. Back to this lady. World Economic Forum, anybody that has anything to do with the World Economic Forum that actually picks up a spot in any top government, like the guy that just took over for Sri Lanka and many, many others, they all have something to do. Excuse me right now. You're done. Stop it. I don't need that crap around here. Don't bring your idiocy into my chat. You want to pick on somebody? Go to their channel and pick on them. Don't come here naming yourself what you want to name somebody, throwing that N-word around here. I don't want it. I don't need it. Fuck off. I don't care. I really don't. It wasn't a bot. That was somebody actually naming themselves that shit. Yeah, you guys see somebody else come in like that again, and let me actually pick up that name or whatever. We'll just go and we'll remove them completely at the moment. We'll throw them right in the jail. Because I don't need that shit. I don't care who you think you are. You don't get to come around here and throw your ignorance. It's not how it works. That's exactly what it is, Jess. Stupid ass children. I do have it on subscriber mode. That's the fun one. Is that means that person actually come in here, subscribed, so that they could actually say what they wanted to say. Ignorance at its best. Just because I'm going to check real quick to be sure it's still there. Yep. Subscriber mode, and I have it set to 5 minutes. So anybody else who changes their names, they come in here, whatever, trying to say shit, I don't care. Like I said, fuck off. Hey, Barton brother, what'd you miss? You missed some ignorant asshole come in here trying to talk shit about somebody else. You want to talk shit about me? Fine, do it. I don't care. When you do it to somebody else in my chat, that's where I draw the line. You don't get to pick on somebody else. I don't think so. Ever. So let's see. Let's move on to some world news. We kind of covered this the other day, that the one guy was still out and about. It looks like they actually finally picked up Miles Sanderson, the second suspect in the stabbing rampage. Yeah, exactly, Susie. They're small-minded and jealous individuals. Yeah, exactly. I get that. So then it says the surviving suspect of the stabbing rampage in Saskatchewan has been arrested according to RCMP. RCMP says Miles Sanderson was taken into police custody in Rostern, Saskatchewan at about 3:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Around 3 p.m., Saskatchewan RCMP issued an emergency alert about a person with a knife traveling in a vehicle last seen in Wakau, about 90 kilometers northeast of Saskatoon. RCMP told people that the Wakau area to seek shelter immediately and shelter in place. They warned people to be cautious about letting others into the residence, to not approach suspicious persons or pick up hitchhikers. The stabbing rampage left 10 people dead and another 18 injured in the James Smith Cree Nation area in the nearby village of Weldon. Authorities had been searching for the main suspect, Miles Sanderson, 32, since Sunday. Sanderson had been charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and breaking and entering. His brother Damien was also facing charges before he was found deceased on Monday. Thankfully, they actually figured out where he was, apprehended him, and actually he gets to actually face charges. Being that he doesn't get to share charges with anybody, which I don't know if that how that works in Canada or whatever, but it sounds like he could be looking at some hopefully life in imprisonment for his rampage. I don't know if there's a death penalty or whatever, but go figure. Little Linda, good morning, all. Yeah, good morning. Michael Hagan is a nice guy. They're just pranking. Michael Hagan, I like Michael Hagan as far as that goes. I've talked to him several times. I don't have a problem with him. We'll actually share that. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Michael Hagan. as far as anybody else goes, that it's going to come around here causing issues, and pointing fingers at people, thinking that they're anything else. Fuck off here. Here's a flag for you. Let's go, Brandon. Telling you right now, I don't care. That's what I figured, Mike. I didn't think it was anything to do with you. Susie says Koolfrogg actually passed away from his own injuries. The other brother, yeah, that's the way it sounded. But this guy looks like he actually got apprehended and he's actually sitting in custody. So, unless you know something more than I don't, please enlighten me. Brother killed him. Wears shirts. Not quite sure yet. We'll give him a little bit of time. He'll be here. He'll be here eventually. I've had record time is about an hour and 15 minutes. He has his own personal stuff that he deals with on a regular basis. Nothing that we can do to actually help him out with that. He it just happens. Please stay. As far as little Linda goes, please don't cause issues between anybody, especially with my mods. That right there. Exactly. That's what it is right there. Not tolerated behavior, and I don't give a fuck. Don't come around here telling me that somebody needs to do something other than what they're already doing. I don't care. And as far as Mr. Malloy goes, I've been on his show several times. Jessica's been on his show several times. And so has several other people that are around here have actually been on his show several times. We all treat him with respect, same as Michael Hagan. We have respect for the guy because he's a nice guy. Don't come around here and trying to tell people what they should or shouldn't do. Koolfrogg Sparkle says that the person who did the stabbing died while in police custody by stabbing themselves in the gut. Huh. So, I mean, if he's not in police custody any longer, I mean, I guess he took care of himself. He's gone. I'm with Preppin on that one. There you go. No friend of mine comes into my house of my friend and says that kind of shit. I would track that shit down and bust her teeth. Good thing we're on the internet and we don't, there's no way of actually doing that any longer. But yeah, stay out of it. Try staying civil around here if you can. Just trying to explain that he was butting their nose in that Michael Hagan is a friend. Michael Hagan's a good friend of us. As far as that goes, what was being said by the person that came in here with such an ignorant name can fuck off. I don't care. I'm beyond pissed off right now. Thank you so much for bringing your ignorance in here and telling me how I should actually do my own show. I don't care. Stop it. Imagine going to someone's chat airing your dirty laundry and telling people they're butting in when they comment on the insanity of some idiot person. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is don't come in here with the shit. I don't care. It is my show. And that's why I told the person that came in here to leave. Don't come back ever again. Don't switch your name to something else. I don't care who you're affiliated with or without. I don't care. Don't let it get to you. That's what they want. I don't care. I don't care what they want. I really don't. Don't come into my chat with your ignorance. I don't want to hear it. Excuse me. Linda, do you not want to be around any longer? Bye. Go ahead. Go talk to Michael Malloy. Michael Malloy's my friend. That's how I feel about it. Mr. Malloy, are you still with us? Yes. Sorry, man. It sucks that you have to continuously go through this ignorance of people's stupidity in somebody else's chat. Friends or not, but you don't have to. You shouldn't have to deal with that. I'll talk to you soon about it. It's all right, man. I get it. The thing is you don't have to be sorry for their ignorance. We still respect you. So as far as that goes, that's as far as that. This is as much as I need to really say about it. So on AmericaShirts, time to change the complexion of the show. Hey, Mimsy, how you doing? Top Biden advisor resigns. Clinton crony moves into new position. Mere hours after one of the most divisive speeches given by the President of the United States, one of President Joe Biden's top advisors has announced her resignation. The president's top climate advisor, Gina McCarthy, will serve her last days on September 16th after starting at the beginning of the Biden administration and only being expected to stay on a year. She stayed longer to assist in the Democrats' climate agenda. She will be succeeded in the position by Ali Zidiq, whoever the hell that is, who has been her deputy. Ooh. Let's move up a position. Good job. And in other news, former Hillary Clinton campaign manager John Podesta was appointed to serve as senior advisor to the president for clean energy innovation and implementation. Under Gina McCarthy and Ali Zadi's leadership, any administration has taken the most aggressive action ever, from historic legislation to bold executive actions to confront the climate crisis head on. The Inflation Reduction Act is the biggest step forward on clean energy and climate in history, and it paves the way for additional steps we will take to meet our our clean energy and climate goals. We are fortunate that John Podesta will lead our continued innovation and implementation. His deep roots in climate and clean energy policy and his experience at senior levels of government mean we can truly hit the ground running to take advantage of the massive clean energy opportunity in front of us. I'm immensely grateful for Gina's service, and I am proud to announce the promotion of Ali to National Climate Advisor. Gina has been an invaluable member of my senior staff since day one of the administration. I wish her the best as she moves forward. John Podesta is the founder and the chair of the board of directors for the Center of American Progress. Podesta also chairs the board of Climate Works Foundation and serves on the board of the Climate Jobs National Resource Center. Podesta served as the counselor to President Barack Obama, where he is responsible for coordinating the administration's climate policy and initiatives. In 2008, he served as the co-chair of President Obama's transition team. He was a member of the UN Secretary General's high-level panel of eminent persons on the post 2015. Development Agenda. Podesta previously served as the White House Chief of Staff to President William J. Clinton. He chaired Hillary Clinton's campaign for president in 2016. The announcement came shortly after the president targeted MAGA Republicans as a threat to democracy. Biden appeared to accuse roughly half of the voting population of being a threat to the nation. We must be honest with each other and ourselves. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent extremism that threatens the very foundation of our republic. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. Bullshit. They do not believe in rule of law. Bullshit. They do not recognize the will of the people. Bullshit. They refuse to accept the results of a free election. Bullshit. MAGA forces are determined to take the country backwards to the America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. Well, all that's wrong because you actually do have the right to all of those. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence. Yeah, who fans the flame of political violence? Tell me what was happening in 2020? Oh, that's right. That's right. It was Democrats that were doing this shit. Fuck off. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence that they threaten our personal rights in the pursuit of justice and the rule of law to the very soul of the country. Whatever you think of this speech, the military is supposed to be apolitical, positioning Marines in uniform behind President Biden for a political speech flies in the face of what it's wrong of that. It's wrong when Democrats do it. It's wrong when Republicans do it, she tweeted. Exactly. It's wrong. It's just wrong in all points to actually stand Marines behind you during a political speech. Only during a speech that isn't political is where you're supposed to be able to do so. So, being that he did it during a political speech means he actually did something incorrect and should be removed from office immediately. Impeach the potato. During her New Day program Friday morning, Kaler brought on Allison Jaslow, a former executive director for the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and herself, a U.S. Army veteran, to comment. There are a lot of people who are taking issue with us just raising this point, who said she agreed with the substance of Biden's speech. Listen, you know where the Marines that could have organically showed up in some frame? Sure, these were obviously men that were put there, and they're different from volunteers. They would fill up a stage at a campaign event and even an official event that is put together. And I think, I wasn't looking for attention when I commented on your point that the military was being unnecessarily politicized in this instance. But it's true. Somebody made a decision to put these Marines in the shot. And the reality of those Marines didn't have a choice whether to be there or not. So they could be like myself, who, if I was in the military, still would have agreed with the president and would have welcomed being at the event yesterday. But we don't know that's true. And the reality is that, like, we need to make sure that our military is as removed from politics as possible. And it's not right if a Democrat uses the military as a political pawn, or a Republican. And it's not right if a Republican Party does it as well. Exactly. None of our politicians are or elected leaders should do that. And I think it's important to speak up and say so when it's done. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it comes down to. And okay. There you go. Love you. You're welcome, bud. Kids, they're always fun. Let's see, where was I? Political speech, not using military, never should, never, at any point in time should that ever happen. And that's what happened. He actually politicized the Marines, and he should be removed for doing such a thing. I don't believe anybody should ever do such a thing ever. And I believe this lady was right for actually calling him up for what it was. And okay, there they go. And there's your camera back. All right. Biden, not my president, not mine either. Let's go, Brandon. Let's see here. I should start playing music in the background. I'm just kind of skipping through chat here real quick because I stop chat when I actually go to when I'm here by myself as opposed to just letting it roll. Just want to be sure that I'm not missing anything and making sure everything is actually good. And yeah. Thought I dropped signal or something. No, I just had a little one actually come in here and try actually getting some assistance. The only time a president should use a Marine or any branch of services when it's for Veterans Day speech or Memorial Day speech or something honoring the military. Yeah, exactly. For anything that's not political. If he's going to turn it into a political speech, that's where you remove the military, because the military is not supposed to be in political grounds. And for us to actually do such a thing is ridiculous and very disturbing in itself. 20K link incoming. Okay. We'll get there in a second. Let's take care of some of the stuff that we've already done. Remove these articles from my way. Pull up this one. Let's see what you got here. Huh. Not sure what this actually has to do with anything political, but it looks like a fairly interesting article. It says Utah family and 5 of 5 survives after Tesla going 100 plus miles an hour crashes into Salt Flats. The family of 5 survived a crash Sunday night that left their car smashed and hub deep in salty dirt in a remote area of Utah. According to Wendover Police Department, multiple agencies responded to the incident at 8:38 p.m., where a 2022 Tesla had crashed into the Bonneville Salt Flats, about 10 miles north of Wendover. Utah's Highway Police and Wendover Fire Department joined the WPD in the investigation. Police stated the family from Utah County was driving at speeds over 100 miles an hour when the vehicle crashed into a berm with very little braking. The 5 occupants were all transferred to the University of Utah Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Seatbelts and airbags were credited for reducing injuries. The Salt Flats are a popular destination for drivers who want to see how fast their cars can go. The Bureau of Land Management allows people to drive their vehicles to drive on the dried salt as fast as they want or as fast as they can. The no limit speeding has led to multiple crashes over the years, including one in 2020 that left 3 teenagers severely injured when they crashed in the same earthen berm. Scary. They actually got their Tesla. Is that what that was? That was a 2022 Tesla. They actually got it over 100 miles an hour. They just smashed the crap out of it. Good thing that they're safe and they weren't actually injured. So, and good thing that the airbags actually worked the way they were supposed to, as opposed to injuring anybody. Very interesting. Thanks for the share, Tonic. What's this? Yeah. Darth Hideous, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hey, Divinity. Put me on panel. Okay. We can bring up somebody. I'm fine with that. Oh, look at that. And it's AmericaShirts.
Howdy.
What's up, brother? Justin's gonna
I'll
come.
tell you later.
We had quite an interesting start. Yeah, that was something. A couple of trolls come in and a couple of other things happening.
I popped in and out. I heard something about like, oh, Michael Malloy talked about you on show, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't freaking.
No, yeah, somebody coming in here and spitting their bullshit about Mr. Malloy. I just don't care. I don't want to hear somebody's bullshit.
More
I
of
really
this.
don't. Yeah, more of that crap. He said he was sorry, but there's nothing that he needs to be sorry about because, he's allowed to actually be around. There's Jessica. What's up?
I purposely want to be here on purpose, so when she comes back, she sees me on the screen because she wants to fuck around and find.
If she comes back, she has to come back as a different name.
Yeah, too bad. I'm just gonna remove her again. I can do this all night. Come at me, sis.
I can go and I can unblock her so that way she can come back. But
no, she's gonna make another account and come back like she just did.
Like she just did?
Yeah, she made a little Linda 2.0 coming back. I sent you the screenshot, Koolfrogg.
Oh. 2.0. She can talk to Mr. Malloy about it because I'll talk to Mr.
It's not
Malloy
the real
about
little
it tonight.
Linda though. It's not the real little Linda. Look at the way the name is spelled. The real
No,
little Linda
I see
uses
that.
a Y.
No, I seen that. So it's somebody that's impersonating somebody else coming in here and talking crap.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that. I get that, Mr. Malloy. I
this
caught
is the
that right away.
thing.
And that's why that person got banned immediately.
This is the thing with these people, ladies and gentlemen. They don't have lives, and they don't have anything else better to do than to sit around all day thinking about how can I go around and harass and defame the character of a more elderly gentleman than ourselves and probably themselves on the internet. How can I go around and make this slight person's reputation bad off? How can I you clearly don't have anything else going on in your life at all. Like you probably don't have any well, it's probably one of these people that don't have any motivation
And
to
get
even
this, shirts.
make
Get
a life
this.
for themselves at all.
She's literally trying to tell me I don't know the Michael Malloy show. I'm like, I'm always on his panel. Like, are you sure about that, sis?
Right. We have no clue about this guy. He just invites us
Yeah, I have
on his
no
panel
idea.
on
I'm just
a
always on his
regular
panel. No
daily
big deal.
basis.
Just
Whether
creating
we
drama
join him
in their
or not,
lives
right,
because
just-
there's not enough
right.
drama.
Yeah.
She didn't have anything better to do. And she's like, I'm going to derail this guy's news program and I'm going to actually interject it with some bullshit.
Oh no, let her keep coming in. Let her keep coming in. I'm not playing. I am not playing. She's messing with the wrong person.
Well, I see Toybox actually went and removed 2.0 for me, so I didn't have to actually do it. Thanks, Toybox.
I did too. We did it at the same time.
Yeah.
Me and Toy Box are like, boom, get out of here.
Nope, done.
Bye-bye.
All right, then I guess I'll go then.
You can, well, whatever. It's up to you. You can stick around if you want. Otherwise, we're going to continue with some news.
I'll
It's
just
up to you.
I'll
Whatever
just
you
go
want to do.
socialing you guys. I'll stick to the comments so I can
All right.
keep smashing that like button.
All right. Thank you, dear.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
By the way, Koolfrogg, can you fit? Actually, if you could go to your screen just for a second there for your background, I think you might be able to fit another American flag like off to your
like
right.
one there.
Right. Like one, like there's a space there on the
There.
wall. I think needs to be filled.
I mean, I could cover up this Let's Go Brandon one, or oh wait, I can just do this and be like, there's the Trump one. So I mean, it's just fun, I'm just gonna switch them out day after day, whatever. Just have fun with it, because what's the point? What's the point of not having fun with your own show?
Right. And what's the point of having Nancy Pelosi in America when she wants to go to Italy? Get out of here, you witch.
Go for it. No, I mean, basically what's happening.
Hop on your broom and go. The Pope, I'm sure Pope Francis would love to do some witchcrafty things with you. Just go. Get out of here.
You see the subline on there? It says Biden has not yet nominated an ambassador to Italy since entering the White House.
Yeah, and the other thing they pointed out, and I didn't
Because
realize
they're
this,
expecting her to not be Speaker of the House come midterm or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And then
I mean,
she gets the appointment.
that's how bad this is, right? Like they know that they're losing like super bad in everything, and they're losing in elections when they thought that they were going to win because because we always win. And unfortunately, that's not working for them. The mail-ins and things of that nature, it's not really working out, and so they're crapping their pants. And apparently, Nancy Pelosi is wanting to flee the country. So, yeah, you take that for
obviously she doesn't want to be here either. She knows what's happening. She knows what's going to eventually happen, especially if Democrats get their way, and and they don't get their way, and then they can actually start what they considered a civil war because one isn't already amok. But I mean, y'all get the point. Do we need to actually read the article?
Oh, I think is there a clip to play from Maria Bartiromo when she broke this? And by the way, I didn't realize this. I was saying this just a little bit earlier. I didn't understand this, but Biden actually has a number of ambassadorships to nations that he has not yet filled. Which, by the way,
this
if
isn't the
Trump would
only
have
one.
done that, which there were positions that Trump didn't fill exactly when oh, they should have or whatever. And these were all these like executive branch agencies and shit. Like it was all this stuff. They're like, oh my God, whatever. And so,
Exactly, Memento. Lefties always threaten to leave and never do.
well, but this is a little bit different than like some lefty, this is a whole shebang in the background going on with her in particular, right? Like we're not talking about whoopee cushion on the View there, just belching and screaming.
Mods, pay attention. Somebody just created an account and actually, or maybe whatever. Somebody just subscribed to the channel. So just saying, I seen it change from 538 to 539. Just saying, watch for it, because I'm sure it has to be somebody in particular.
But yeah, so a lot of positions for ambassadorships to other countries have not been filled yet. And that's a problem because you're not communicating effectively with the rest of the world, obviously, if you don't have ambassadors. I mean, we have ambassadors going back to the founding of the country. You had John Quincy Adams was an ambassador to Russia. You had, and then he was a congressman, president, and then went back to being a congressman. So he was a statesman all his life. And you have several different.
You two chaps have vocal equivalent of classic duos like George and Lenny, Evan Costello, Hardy, R2D2.
R2D2.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep.
All two. Wait, where are you going, all two? It's a pretty good R2D2 there, you know, like beep beep. Well.
All right. Let's see here.
There should be a clip from Maria Bartiromo's show for that. I don't know if you wanted to play a little bit of that or
throw
not.
it up. Otherwise,
okay, you did. Okay, because I didn't know if that clip there, because there's a play button there. I didn't know if that was the same thing. Oh, okay.
Or I don't think it's that anyway. Is it? Oh, you know what? It actually is.
Oh, there we go.
It actually is. Hold on.
Because this is pretty good, people. Because you do realize that's a symbol.
I
That's
don't
a
like
signal.
to use Fox News as a source usually.
Well,
just because it's Fox News, paid opposition.
Well, yeah.
Telling me that President Biden is holding the Italian ambassador job open for Nancy Pelosi, which is one reason he has yet to fill the role since taking office. A Pelosi ally and former Wall Street executive wanted the job, but that plan has shifted as it becomes increasingly likely that the Republicans will take the majority in November. No word on how a new Senate will react to the Pelosi nomination, but there was mixed.
They're like, who else can we actually name off? I got Han and Chewie. I got Kermit and Miss Piggy. Frodo and Sam.
Mr. Frodo. Sam.
Reaction to her in this role from the sources I spoke with this week. So
Certainly
far, 101 Biden ambassador nominees have been confirmed by the Senate, but Biden has been slow to name ambassadors to several countries, including Italy. About a quarter of the 194 ambassador positions are currently without a Senate-confirmed official, including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, India, Brazil, Ukraine, among others.
Wait, I'll take that one. Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch.
Those guys were cool.
Presidents typically reserve ambassador posts in the most desirable locations for the people who have helped propel them to the White House, such as political operatives and important donors. The ambassador's residence, Villa Taverna, boasts a pool, a private garden, and a 3-story wine cellar in Rome. We reached out to Speaker Pelosi's office for comment, but have not heard back.
Mr. Malloy says Beavis and Butthead. We got a Laverne and Shirley, and we got a frickin' frack.
Laverne and Shirley. Oh my God!
It's Ernie and the Rubber Ducky. Oh, Bert.
Joining the conversation all
By the way,
morning
people,
morning,
rewind that again, just so that we're clear about what exactly is in that place, just a little bit. Well, no, not all the way. Unless you want to.
You're the one. Who makes bath time lots of fun?
We begin this morning with my breaking news. Sources telling me that President Biden is holding the Italian ambassador job open for Nancy Pelosi, which is one reason he has yet to fill the role since taking office. A Pelosi ally and former Wall Street executive wanted the job, but that plan has shifted as it becomes increasingly likely that the Republicans will take the majority in November. No word on how a new Senate will react to the Pelosi nomination, but there was mixed reaction to her in this role from the sources I spoke with this week. So far, 101 Biden ambassador nominees have been confirmed by the Senate, but Biden has been slow to name ambassadors to several countries, including Italy. About a quarter of the 194 ambassador positions are currently without a Senate-confirmed official, including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, India, Brazil, Ukraine, among
Rewind
others.
that again, just for everybody to understand. Again, what did she say? 140 something?
Positions are currently without a countries, including Italy. About a quarter of the 194 ambassador positions are currently.
One quarter of 194.
1/4 of 190 positions. So, some are about, almost 50 positions.
47 and
Yeah,
48,
that's
whatever.
almost
Whatever.
50 positions,
Yeah.
right?
Right. I mean, that's a lot of nations you're not having contact with. And she said, including Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. I mean, Saudi Arabia is the biggest oil producer in the world at this point, and we're asking them to do all this stuff with oil, and we don't even give them an ambassador to have communications with. I mean, like, this is just, oh my God, like, it's just collapse. I mean, that's what they want. I mean, they just, they don't give a shit. They know where everything's going. They know where they're piloting things at. They don't care.
Flag fuckers.
And I mean, it's not everything. Obviously, ambassadorships aren't everything, folks. But I mean, it's just another thing, right? It's just another sign that they don't give a shit. After this long, you don't even have an ambassadorship to some of these important nations, strategically, politically, and otherwise. I mean, even if you don't like Saudi Arabia, you should at least have an ambassador there to have some kind of on the ground communication.
Oh yeah, you should always have ambassadors in every country. And if she's saying a quarter, and that's almost 50 of them that don't have ambassadors. Which countries don't actually have ambassadors? Which the most dangerous ones? The ones that that you would actually want an ambassador in to actually tell us what's happening, or do we not care? Do we just simply not care because we're like, oh, that's fine. We're gonna run amok with our democracy all we want, and we're gonna instill democracy across all these other countries anyway, so it doesn't matter. Trying to usher in this new world order of sorts. We actually covered some of the World Economic Forum earlier. One of the first couple articles I read off was one about Liz Truss, the new lady, Prime Minister of UK or whatever, actually being part of, guess what? The World Economic Forum. So, as far as that goes.
So in 2018, Donald Trump didn't have ambassadors to 26 countries as of yet. And one of the only reasons that was because they were holding those up in the Senate for, no damn reason at all. And if I can find the number here, maybe we'll have to pull that up at a later date because I don't see.
Sure.
Is
there anything else we need to really hit out of this? Did she say anything else that was interesting?
Well, just the sheer fact of she said that there was a winery that was 3 stories tall at that place. A winery, right? A wine storage. Or was it a winery or wine storage? Play it again.
Official, including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, India, Brazil, Ukraine, among others. Presidents typically reserve ambassador posts in the most desirable locations for the people.
Go figure,
who would
there's not
help
one in
propel
Ukraine.
them to the White House, such as political operatives and important donors. The ambassador's residence, Villa Taverna, boasts a pool, a private garden, and a 3-story wine cellar in Rome.
There it is, 3-story wine cellar. All the vodka she could ever want. She could just stash it all away in there. And no one would ever know. She just puts a little bit of like a dye in it and pretends it's wine, but it's really vodka.
That's awesome. I'm going to stop sharing that for a minute. We'll share this one here real quick. Thanks, Tonic. Tonic's on top of it. He's just like, here, look at that.
Oh, hey. Wait, who's Tonic?
Look at Tony K. Tonic.
Oh.
Look at that. Afghanistan, vacant. Bahamas, vacant. Belize, vacant. Bolivia, vacant. Botswana, Brazil. Colombia, Croatia, Cuba, Czech Republic, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Eurasia, Estonia, Ethiopia, Gabon, Haiti, ICA, I don't know what that is, ICAO.
I'm not sure.
India, Italy and San Marino, Kuwait, Kyrgyz Republic, Mauritius, Micronesia, Morocco, Namibia, Netherlands, Nigeria, OAS, Palau, Panama, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu are all part of one. Romania, Russia, Rwanda, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, right. Go figure.
So look at that. Saudi Arabia and Russia
Saudi
are both
Arabia.
vacant. When you need to have
As well as the
communications
Ukraine.
with these people. Oh, yeah, as well as Ukraine, right. Syria's vacant.
There's Syria, Timor-Leste, Trinidad, Tobago, Tunisia, United Arab Emirates.
That's another big oil producer.
UN Political Affairs is vacant.
No, UN can go into the ocean.
Uniseco, Uruguay, and Zimbabwe. It says Ukraine actually has somebody. Bridget Brink is supposed to be there, supposedly. 5/18/2022. So not currently there. Still showing that it's like, look at that UK. Look at that 5/25/2022. Got to look at some of these dates. Look at that. Economic, Social, and Council 2/8. 2/17. Look at that. Human Rights Council has no ambassador. 8/4. Uzbekistan has no ambassador. Zambia has no ambassador. Though it says there's one, there isn't one. Because if that's the date that they're actually done, let's go all the way to the top. Nominated, confirmed. Okay, they were confirmed. So they actually do have one. But she said the Ukraine. I thought Maria said Ukraine in there, but you know.
Where does this come from? American Foreign.
This is the American Foreign Services Association tracker of current U.S. ambassadors. Just tag a couple of those just so they're tagged. For future reference. That's what happens. So anyway, if you want to go back and listen to what she was saying.
She's just going to bring on more guests or another guest, and they're going to talk about it after that.
So not worth listening to. We move on.
Yeah, unless you want to. It's not really important per se.
We got plenty else to talk about. We'll go back to it just to.
I have not heard back. Run the conversation all morning long this morning. Is Fox Business is taking McDowell and fraternal order of
Statler, Waldorf, Carson, McMahon. They gave us a Tinky Winky and Dipsy, Porky Pig and Elmer Fudd, Hall & Oates. They really gave us a whole bunch of.
For becoming the U.S. ambassador to Italy. I'm told she wants the job and Joe Biden is saving the seat for her. We'll have to wait and see. The office of Nancy Pelosi has not gotten back to me on it. Your reaction?
This would still be a way of, as they would say in Italian, if my memory serves, condurre Pelosi al pascolo, which is putting Pelosi out to pasture. It would be an elegant way of moving out of being Speaker of the House if indeed the Democrats get shellacked in November, as many expect. Italy, but it is curious that this position has remained open. Italy is the only G7 country that still doesn't have a full ambassador imposed, a country that certainly needs U.S. representation on the ground at Villa Taverna. And there's been some speculation in Washington about this for at least maybe the last 6 weeks, because remember those bathing suit photos of Nancy Pelosi over the summer? I know that the audience has probably tried to scrub those from memory. But she took her family to Forte dei Marmi on vacation in Italy. I believe it was in July. And so that's when the speculation really picked up steam, that why would she be vacaking in
Moo
Italy? And
is this Chippendale
go to,
and
well, her
Sanford
home up in
and Son?
wine country. DUI.
Well, she does have Italian heritage,
Right.
and she did visit with the Pope when she went to Italy earlier this year.
Yes.
Sources tell me that
Yes, Pope
Pope
Francis
has
loves her.
President about this role, and President Biden is holding the spot for Nancy Pelosi and will likely make that nomination sometime at the end of the year, and she will likely accept. We'll see what the Senate has to say about this. Joe, we're still trying to understand how
Yeah, I
this
think they should deny it and then leave her unemployed.
easily confirmed to become
I mean,
the US
pause this for a second,
ambassador to
because this
Italy.
is rich, right? Like, if we win the House and if we win the Senate, the Republicans can just be like, no, screw you. Like, and she's just left on the streets of San Francisco with her oodles and boodles of ice cream.
Good
It's so
point,
great.
Mr. Malloy. I hope the Pope Francis doesn't give Pelosi sainthood.
Oh, he probably will.
He probably will.
She'd have to live in Rome, but this is certainly what my sources are telling me she's ready.
Well, she doesn't want to live in the United States
When
after
in
what
Rome.
she's done.
Well, I certainly
To
as an
crash the
Italian
United
American, I hope
States,
she
she wants
doesn't
to
get
flee
this
the
spot,
country.
But over the years, you learn
Because
not
if they
to
find
underestimate
her,
Nancy Pelosi. She's
they
managed to
will
stay in
kick her
power
head
for
around like a
36
soccer
years.
ball.
But I'm sure her and her
in
husband Paul are
Minecraft.
going to absolutely love the wine scene in Italy. I mean, I heard it's great. But this just goes to show you what's going on in this country. We don't even know what's going to happen in the midterms in the next few months. I mean, it looks like Republicans
Oh,
are
yeah,
actually
we
going
do.
to take back the House, maybe 15 to 20 seats. And it's going to really
Oh, it's
depend
probably
on
more
whether or
than
not
that.
they take
Hopefully
the
it's
Senate,
more than
which
that.
is looking more promising as the days go on. But I think we have to look at what is the impact that President Biden calling half the country semi-fascists and extremists are going to have on the midterm elections right now. I mean, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, sitting around the round table saying, let's call half the country terrorists. I'm sure that's going to bring everybody over to our side. And that's why independents are disapproving of the job President Biden is doing to the tune of
Yes,
65%.
yes, Memento Mori, yes.
Democrats are going to wear
Saint
that in the
Nancy,
midterm elections.
patron saint
And I
of
think another
vodka
thing
and
that we need to
martinis.
consider is
Yes,
just how
every time you
big
go to the
American
bar, you
public
say,
is
Hail Saint
about
Nancy,
the loan
and
forgiveness
you
that we're
drink
seeing for
yourself to
college
death.
students. I mean, listen,
They'll send you
you'll pay
vodka
our student loans
martini
back, and now
immediately.
you're expecting us to pay someone else's loans back? That's not going to play well with voters, especially
Oh, yeah,
when we're seeing
Schwartz, they're already
40-year high
fast
in inflation.
friends.
People are making decisions at the gas pumps and in the grocery store about what groceries they're going to buy. And the worst part, Maria, is it doesn't even fix the problem. I mean, tuition costs are up 169% since 1980. This does nothing to fix that. It doesn't stop the predatory lending process. And you know what? We know what motivates people in midterm elections, and that's anger. And the American people are pissed off about this to the tune of $1 trillion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And let me say that this from the so-called unifier in chief who continues to attack half the country. We are just getting started this morning.
So there you have it, folks. Nancy Pelosi. See, and so the biggest takeaway from this, folks, is that Nancy Pelosi sees that this election is not going to go the way that they want in 2022, which also should tell you that they're going to try everything they possibly can to make sure that they either don't lose this, or if they do, they can somehow like fraudulently go about this. But she knows that they're probably going to lose, and that even if they win, she can't stick around forever, and so she's going to have to get out of Dodge after everything that they pulled. So, and notice they're framing the jab against Trump now, and then Fauci's bailed the ship, Pelosi's wanting to bail the ship. So I mean, yeah, they're really trying to get things moving along here, and a lot of people are kind of seeing, well, in these positions, they're going, oh crap, everybody is, really finding out about this pretty quickly. Okay, we need to fast forward here. I need to bail the ship now. So that's kind of the biggest takeaway, is that she knows that the Democrats are probably going to lose. But even if they don't,
we gotta go.
right. But even if they don't, even if they were to succeed in their, manipulations of sorts of things, that she still would have to, after everything that she's pulled, because she's planning on retiring. The Democrat Party is planning on retiring her. So any way you look at it,
Martin Bella says
she's gonna lose,
AOC's
but I think it's a
coming
good
for
sign.
her job.
Yeah,
The
right.
AOC gets speaker? You gotta be kidding me.
Well, I mean, hey, Nancy Pelosi can sit up here and do the Nancy Pelosi drunk face, So I mean, hell.
Yeah, short order cook. I did see that the CDC actually has particular things back on the list of things that are actually good for you.
Yeah, isn't
outer
that
space.
interesting?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Speaking of that, check this guy. Isolated in India after testing positive. Ooh. This Democrat out of Georgia is isolated in India after testing positive for the coof. On his office confirmed on Wednesday. Ossoff, who has mild symptoms, headed to India for an 8-day economic delegation at the end of August. He was expected to return to the U.S. this week as Congress resumed business after the August recess. But his office confirmed he would return next week instead. Senator Ossoff is isolated in India and has been unable to return to Washington as planned for Senate votes and committee business this week. The statement from the office reads, Senator Ossoff expects to be back in Washington for Senate business next week. If we didn't catch it off the first couple times that they said that, he's supposed to be back next week. Because, isolating where you sit when you come down with particular things is the way you do it, apparently. So, nope, you don't get to come back. Done. Does he have to continue to test to find out? Maybe he'll never come back. Maybe that seat will become vacant and they won't be able to hold any more Senate elections until after the midterm. That might be something. There's lots of thoughts to go around that. But, we'll never know. Let's do this, lady. Watch your eyes, everybody.
Ugh.
Will Hillary Clinton run again? We now know. Twice failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton made clear Tuesday that she has no interest in running for president again. Even if Donald Trump should jump in the race. Oh, yeah, because he's going to just jump in because he isn't there already. No. Clinton told CBS Evening News anchor Norah O'Donnell, when pressed for an answer, she did vow to stay involved in politics, however. Oh, she's going to stick around in politics, but she's not going to actually run for the most prestigious seat of president. I wonder why. because they didn't do what she wanted them to do the first time. But I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we have the president who respects our democracy and the rule of law and upholds our institutions. What if Donald Trump runs again? O'Donnell wondered. If that happens, Clinton argued, he should be soundly defeated. They had the quote in the wrong spot. It should start in the Republican Party, she said. Grow a backbone, stand up for this guy, and heaven forbid, if he gets the nomination, he needs to be defeated roundly and sent back to Mar-a-Lago. Okay. Good to hear. I'm glad that you feel that way, Miss Clinton. I'm glad that you do. Clinton also made some eyebrow-raising comments about the peaceful transfer of power. I would not be honest if I didn't say there was a seditious conspiracy about the government in the United States, and that's a crime led by Donald Trump. You know, I was a Secretary of State. I spent, many days on airplanes, flying from place to place, encouraging people to have real democracy. And one of the hallmarks of the real democracy is a peaceful transfer of power. Was I happy when I beat Donald Trump by nearly 3 million votes, but lost the Electoral College? No, I was not happy. Did I ever, for a nanosecond, think I'm going to claim victory and try to get the Democrats to refuse to certify the election? No. Straight out, no. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Holy
I'm totally
shit.
positive about that.
She blamed everyone from Netflix to the Macedonians for her election laws. Like, holy
She sure did.
There's a list of 90 entities that she claimed over the course of like 3 to 4 months for her election laws. They literally planned a civil war with states seceding from the Union with some of her top lawyers and some of the top people in the DNC. But no, they were totally going to accept the results of the election. Oh, wait, no, that was in 2020 they were planning on doing that. I'm sure they had plans for 2062.
The interesting one is she isn't the only one that has actually used such words about Donald Trump in the last day or so. Did you see this? Barack Obama jokes about a tan suit and a fine Michelle in official portrait are unveiled in Twitter reacts. Did you?
By the way, those portraits are awful. Look at this.
Look at. I mean,
look, it's a dude.
Better than she does,
a freaking dude. Look. Big Mike looks way more masculine right now than Joe Obama there. I mean, like or Obama there. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's awful.
Horrible
these.
pictures.
Like there's no depth to these portraits at all. Like there's no depth. There's no like look at this. It's just white.
His
it's
looks
white.
Halfway decent, but hers looks absolutely horrendous. Don't know why in the world that they would actually do this to her.
I mean, it just looks like someone photoshopped a picture of Obama and a white background, or just took a picture, and then they're just like, okay,
right.
It's not even a portrait. There's not painting going on, I guess. And like, this is just total, again, societal degradation. I mean, look at a portrait.
Plenty of comments on it. Let's see here. Michelle said something. I thought this actually had her quote in there. She actually said something about Trump, about not actually why is it not in there? I thought that was in there. Just disgusting photos. You can see this. Look at stunning. First was a painting.
I mean, it's so bad. It's so
oh man,
bad.
He got the shit end of the stick. Stunning and historic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. Love, and love. Dang it! I thought her quote was supposed to be in here. I read through this even. She has a quote where she actually calls out Donald Trump for not succeeding properly. Apparently, it's not that one. Oh, let's see here. It's kind of.
I mean, here's a. I mean, I understand like portraits and things are different in different times and American history and so forth. But I mean, let me share this just to show you the degradation. Just I mean, because this is also like partially a CIA project in and of itself. It's just to make everything so god awful that you never want to look at the world around you. I mean, here's this picture here. I don't know. Can I make this larger? It's not the button I wanted. Well, I don't know, but I mean,
double click on it.
Oh, it took me to a different tab, and that tab doesn't even let me make it larger. The freak. But I mean, I don't know. Can y'all see that? I mean,
to a point, yeah. They got bigger screens than I do, so maybe they can see.
And
it.
we've all seen this portrait before of George Washington at different poses, such as this. I mean, here's this one. Let me see if I can put a bigger.
Dwight's like,
image.
screenshot it and open it in Paint.
Like here, here's the portrait. Like, look at the level of like depth and colors and other different things in the picture, and then go back to their picture, right? Like there's no comparison. I mean, here's the portrait there. I mean, look at how big the portrait is too. By the way, like it's very, very large.
Oh, it says it's 5:40 now. That'd be awesome if I actually picked up 6 subs tonight.
So I mean, and that's Washington's portrait.
4 subs, whatever.
Let's do.
Be great if those weren't fake subs.
Presidential portrait. Here, there's Lincoln's presidential portrait.
M Sports says, I love the portrait of G Dub, but his hand always makes me think that he's saying "what the fuck" to someone.
What?
I'm guessing this. She was talking about the George Washington that you had up there. That was my thought.
Okay. I mean, you can see like the level of depth, colors, that like it looks, looks like there's some effort put into it. But theirs just looks like it's made from like some pastel colors or something. Just it looks like it looks like someone took a crayon and made big mics, and then Obama's just looks like someone did a cutout from a magazine and just put it on a white background, and there you go. Like, it's just so bad. And it just shows you the level of degradation that these globalist people have done to our society and our culture and our art. I mean, architecture and movies and paintings and these other different things are expressions of the culture. And when they hijack that and then pump this shit out, they hijack all those big places that put this kind of stuff out, and they pump out a bunch of shit, then it just fills everything with crap, and it makes you think that everything is bad. Dwight asks, did Joe get one made yet? I don't think so. Probably because they don't plan on having him around for too much longer. But
well, being that they just finally got the ones for Obama done, which means, it's been how many years? You have to wait. You have to wait for the next Democrat president to come along to actually, most likely, make sure that's done
Oh, yeah.
properly.
There's Mike Gohagan. They found
Just
at
saying.
Epstein's. Yeah, that was Bill Clinton's presidential portrait with the blue dress and the high heels, right as you walk into Epstein's mansion. Yep.
Let's do window. And we'll do this, and we'll just go through a whole bunch of them at the same time. Steve Bannon expected to surrender to prosecutors in New York, faced new criminal indictment. In response to the reports of the state criminal case in New York City, Bannon released a statement saying he's never going to stop fighting. Bannon is expected to turn himself into the New York authorities in Manhattan on Thursday to face new indictment connected to the We Build the Wall fundraising effort. The Washington Post, citing anonymous sources, reported that the state criminal case would resemble an earlier attempted federal prosecution in which Bannon was accused of duping donors who gave money to fund a wall in the U.S. southern border. Bannon, a former Trump senior advisor, was previously federally indicted in fraud in private fundraising campaign. Former President Trump pardoned Bannon under federal charges before he left office in 2021. Bannon pleaded not guilty to the charges in 2020 before his pardon. The details of the state indictment were sealed as of Tuesday, but the federal indictment accused Bannon and others of defrauding donors of the multi-million-dollar venture. Bannon was accused of illegally taking more than $1 million. The Soros-backed DA...
$1 million for what?
The Soros-backed DA has now decided to pursue phony charges against me 60 days before the midterm election because War Room is a major source of MAGA grassroots movement. What? Bannon was accused of illegally taking more than $1 million.
From defrauding donors of the
Defrauding
venture.
donors of multi-million-dollar venture.
Of a venture for what? The
Building
border
the
wall
wall
thing?
Yeah.
Oh!
Apparently, I read that too fast for him, and he actually got lost. The SDN, I'm just kidding. The SDNY did the exact same thing in August 2020 to try to take out the election. Bannon said, referring to the arrest months before Trump's re-election loss. He added, "This is nothing more than a partisan politicization of the criminal justice system." He said he was proud to be a leading voice in protecting the border and warned, "They're coming after all of us, not only President Trump and myself. I am never going to stop fighting. In fact, I have not yet begun to fight. They will have to kill me first." Well, don't ask for that. They might actually do it. Bannon was convicted of contempt of Congress earlier this summer for refusing a subpoena from the J6 committee. He was scheduled to be sentenced in October and faces a minimum of 30 days in jail. Like that's anything. Anybody that thinks 30 days in jail is something, you really need to think about it. 30 days really is nothing. Especially in most states that have laws that give you like half time or 2/3 your time. And you're not going to sit 30 days for the most part. 2 other men involved in the Build the Wall project pleaded guilty in April. They'd been scheduled to be sentenced this week, but that was recently postponed to December. A third defendant's trial ended in a mistrial in June after jurors said they could not reach a unanimous verdict. Seriously, they're just going to continue to go after anybody that has any political opposition to try getting what they want. It's always going to be that way.
Yeah, it's just lawfare to try to drain people of money, of resources, and to then try to throw them in prison on trumped up charges, pun intended, like Alex Jones. It's like, it's just horse shit. And they just keep doing all these charades and all this crap. And then they throw everything in front of the judge. And then all the libtards and the jury take all of like 10 seconds and they're like, guilty. So,
No, I'm with you. The minute Trump brought him in, he said this man is a huge mistake. I really didn't think that he was going to be the best choice. for anything, but they're going to continue to go after him because he's actually got a platform of his own, and that's what they're looking at. They're like, oh, we can go after this guy, and he's going to get this. It's going to get seen by multiple people over and over again. It's going to get broadcast off of channels like this and any other for what it was, and that's exactly what's going to continue to happen. See, I took away the screen.
I mean, Bannon's really good. Everybody should watch his show, War Room.
It's dependent on how you feel about certain people. I like Bannon myself to a point. Not as much as I liked Alex Jones, but at the same time, he actually has some decent content. And, actually tell you the truth.
I mean, he really mobilizes all of this stuff. I mean, he really does. Like all this stuff on the ground politically and otherwise. He gets all the people on. He talks about everybody. He talks about all the, like, he has state legislature candidates that come on for different states that are having primaries and like on and on down the line. Like he really gets the ball moving. So I think he's really good myself. But anywho's,
the process,
occasional cortex.
The process is the punishment. Yeah, exactly. The process is the punishment when you actually think about it. They keep on dragging him through all this stuff or whatever, and that's punishment enough.
Right, that's what it is. Yeah.
The thing is Bannon's a populist, straight up a hardcore populist. I mean, having multiple children, I don't know if I'm not a populist. W Sing 99 beers on the wall. Yep, he's grassroots. Yeah, I mean, I'm so sorry. I greatly dislike Alex, but we can't agree on everything. No, yeah, I mean, exactly.
Oh, sorry, you're missing out. Alex is fantastic.
Ocasio-Cortez says we need men to be speaking up about abortion rights. We need men to actually step up and actually start taking control of the lives that are actually being born and actually be there for these children, as opposed to allowing a woman to make all the decisions. That's my thought. When you actually go ahead.
And when it comes to an abortion, right, it's like, if the father was to be like, hey, I want to raise the kid, it's like, no, you can't do that. And like, then she just holds off and kills the kid.
No, I mean, I get certain, I'm not as hardcore as
but
what.
They need to speak up for abortion rights. But
I do have a line that's a little bit, more gray than his, where I actually say, under certain circumstances, when it comes down to certain, issues that could come from it or whatever, where either one of them could be in harm, whether it's the mom or the child, and maybe there's some, some areas where you can actually think about it. But when it's healthy, she's healthy, and everything's all good. If she doesn't want it, she should be able to actually hand it over to the guy and be like, here, it's yours.
And this is like the popular thing that everybody likes to throw up, which is that like, oh, well, what if it's like endangering the life of the mother type thing? Like that's rarely any of this. And that's why I don't even bring that up half the time. And even though I do have an opinion on it, I don't even bring that up half the time at all, or even more than half the time, because it doesn't make up any of a significant percentage to even be argumentative about. It doesn't even come on the radar. It's like 1% at most. Most pregnancies can be given. Most women are healthy enough to have pregnancy. That's what was, what is this stupid show that's on now? House of the Dragon is what it's called. And the first episode, it's the Game of Thrones prequel or whatever series, the prequel series to Game of Thrones, which is a shit show, in my opinion. I think
that the Republicans loosen their stance on certain situations this election should be a slam dunk, referring to abortion. When it comes down to it, I think it's that more and more have actually moved themselves from one side of the political spectrum to the other, regardless if what they consider themselves, whether they like myself, consider myself a centrist, or they're actually going and actually, becoming Republicans, are taking some of their thoughts with them and actually bringing them with them and saying, okay, the certain extremes, need to be actually, pushed away. Tony G, big booty Latina.
But I'll just finish my point really quick. It comes back to the abortion type thing, which is in this sort of feminist trope where it's like, like women don't need to have children. Like we need to, like, it's like it's a bad thing or whatever. And it's like, and in this TV show, in the very first episode, they depict this woman who's this queen, and she's, her husband is the king wanting to give birth to a son. And so the son can inherit the kingdom, da da da. And this whole time in this TV show, she's just like constantly complaining about her pregnancy, constantly talking about how it's bad, constantly referring to it as just nothing but a pain. It's nothing but this, constantly acting like her husband is like forcing her to have a child, and like all this stuff is forced, and all this is this, and all this is this. And then like eventually towards the end of it, like it's this whole depiction of like a marital relationship is just nothing that it is. Being pregnant, having children is nothing as it is. Everything is like, oh, it's so horrible, it's so dangerous. And like towards the end of the episode, they have to like quote unquote have to do like this C-section thing. It ends up killing the mother because, the mother, again, like, the life of the mother, we could only save the mother or the child, so let's kill the mother. And it ended up being this bad thing. And then the other characters in the show were like, oh, he's so selfish, he did this, he did that. And just framing the whole thing as being something that it's not at all. And so it's just, this whole thing in culture of this is just outrageous to even throw this up, but they do all the time, and now it's in popular culture. Now it's constantly being thrown up. The beginning of the show, one of the very first episode of this show that millions of people will watch and are watching now, is that it's all this stuff of it's always, we always have to like oh no, there's always danger, there's always this danger, there's always this, right? Like, but abortions are actually way more dangerous and way more deadly to both, obviously, the child and to the mother. It's way more dangerous to have an abortion than it is to actually give birth to the kid, right? Like, again, it's a natural process. If a woman did not have a womb to give birth to a child, she would not have a womb. This is not a parasite. This is not some sort of weird thing. So, the whole argument of that. So I'm sorry, I just took longer to explain.
No, you're fine.
I was
You're
expecting,
fine.
but
real quick here. So then, in an interview
the occasional cortex
with GQ published online Wednesday, the Progressive
GQ.
Firebrand said it takes
Firebrand.
groups that aren't affected by an issue to speak up for those who are often marginalized. But we know that when white folks take up space and say the right thing in rooms of other white people, that is the most shifting activity that can happen. More sometimes than any protester, any person writing a letter to an editor or anything like that. And we need men to speak up, to be speaking up in that way as well. But I think men, sometimes they think, I'm not a woman. It doesn't affect me the most. And what they don't understand is like everything that we just said. You don't know if you're just going around and you're aborting children because you're like, oh, that's my right. You didn't ask the guy about it. There should be repercussions for that.
Because it's his kid
guy
too.
May actually want that child. It is his too. You don't get to choose for him. It's so ignorant to actually think that people don't know. So ID Crisis threw this at me real quick here. He's like, here, check this out. It's something. It's only a minute and 39 seconds long. It says 1950s woman meets the future.
Pretty sure they didn't have purple hair.
Where you can do anything a man can.
Oh.
So excited to finally be here. You are going to love it. Feminism has done so much for women. Do tell. No more aprons, first of all. Oh, do we finally have a butler to cook for us? Oh gosh, no, you'll just eat pre-made greasy crap out of a bag on your way to and from work. Suppose that sounds convenient, so I get to work outside the home? Totally. You get to sit in a cubicle all day while you stare at a computer screen, chugging coffee. So liberating, right? I suppose. I'm at work all day. Will we finally have a Rosie the Robot maid? No, you'll still have to do all the cleaning. That's what your weekends are for, cleaning and laundry. Oh, and errands and yard work. Wait, so I have to work full time plus still manage my home full time? I mean, you want to have it all, right? Okay, but what about my husband? Is he amazing? What? No, you're not married. You live alone with your cat. What? You do though. A lot. You can just have sex with whoever, whenever you want. That sounds kind of gross, actually. Just pick them off of this app. What about pregnancy? Oh, there's this magic pill you take. Totally wrecks your hormones, but keeps you from getting pregnant so you can, knock some boots. The pill is magic. Well, it's mostly effective, but don't worry. If by chance you do get pregnant, you can totally just kill the baby by having an abortion. Why would I do that? So you can get back to work. Duh. Someone has to fill that cubicle space. Okay, am I at least happy? I mean, yeah, as long as you don't skip your antidepressant pill.
Are y'all
Another
happy you got what you
magic
wanted?
Pill. Gotta cope somehow. I think I'll just stay here. Get to have purple hair.
I mean, honest to God, right? It's like, I mean, oh, it's women's liberation, but then like you just throw away, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's women's liberation, but then like, oh, so we're gonna cut men out of the relationship with women, and so now the women are now burdened with literally everything, and there's no partnership, and there's no like you do part of the work, you do part of the work. We have a family, we have a house, we raise children. No, like you're just fully reliant upon the state or the corporation or both. I mean, that's what this is. It's just turning women who were once at home to help with the house, to help raise children, to help do different things. Now they're trying to bring women out of the home and try to bring everybody out of the home now. And like just everybody's a slave to the state and to all the mega corporations. And that's a very generalistic, very holistic point of view.
So I'm going to bring the screen back up. There was nothing else we really needed off of that one, but we can move on. This is South Carolina Dem lawmaker, Senate hopeful talks to sleeper candidates under the table fundraising. This one. But this is the one where she speaks with the Project Veritas. Yeah. Project Veritas actually has a decent clip on it where this lady actually does the speaking with the guy or whatever, and doesn't realize who she's talking to and is being recorded. This is South Carolina State Rep Crystal Matthews told the state prison inmate in a recorded call that she had hoped drug dealers would contribute to her U.S. Senate campaign using family members' names and suggested Democrats run as secret sleepers in the Republican primaries. The comments are snippets of a mostly chatty phone call with David Solomon Ballard enlisting his help with other campaign. The tapes were made public by Project Veritas, a right-wing organization that secretly tapes progressive politicians and edits the tapes to show the politician is an unflattering light. I mean, obviously, we're reading this from, some leftist site. This is Matthews in a runoff Tuesday from the Democrat nomination for the U.S. Senate, and Catherine Fleming Bruce, the author of The Preservationist. The winner will face Senator Tim Scott, Republican of South Carolina, in the November election. Results of the runoff are not available at press time. In an interview with Raphael James on Live 5 News Tuesday, Matthews said that she did not know Ballard and did know he was an inmate until after the call was over, or did not know. There's a not in there. She said releasing the tape was a political hit job, and she was not going to be contrite about what was said. So if I'm really getting dope money, that I had said that I was struggling to raise money for my campaign. So of course,
what you're reading isn't showing up on the screen here. You still have the Hill article with AOC.
Damn it. I had the freaking window up, I thought. Thank you. So if I was really getting dope money, that I said I was struggling to raise money for my campaign, So, of course, the statement was tongue in cheek. It was not literal. She said the real uncut truth revealed that sometimes when black folks talk to black folks, we talk in a certain way in private, no different than when parents say to their language around their children, for example. She said her supporters know she speaks passionately about what she believes. Nothing I said was untrue, and everything I said are also things that I've already talked about throughout my campaign. I don't run from anything. The South Carolina Department of Corrections recorded the call, as does all inmate phone calls, and it was somehow leaked by Project Veritas. The portion of the tape released by Project Veritas is 2 minutes and 2 minutes of a 40-minute call in which Matthews gives her opinions about legislators and other black leaders and says she hasn't seen as many backstabbers as she has in the legislature since high school. Matthews, in a campaign ad, did not return repeated messages seeking comment. Now, as far as the comments go, I'm going to get straight to that comment. So, where the F is my black people with the money? Matthews said in the call. I don't care about no dope money. Give me that dope boy money. Shit, where the effing dope, where are the duffel bag boys? Get you. Find me someone from your family that don't even know you donating to my campaign and put the shit under they names. Can't even speak properly. That's how hard it is to read her freaking comment. And it doesn't matter if it was 2 minutes out of a 40-minute conversation. When you're talking about getting money from people, that's what's going to come up. People are going to actually say, hey, wait a minute. What did she just say? She's talking about getting money from people that are sitting in jail, in prison, and hiring other people to do their jobs that they had been doing before they got put in prison.
And that's just like the language thing there, just for a second. And this is something that Thomas Sowell talks about. He's a Black American. He's a very, very well spoken individual, and he's a very well thought out individual. Thomas Sowell. Everybody should look up him and his videos and his books. And this is something that he talks about.
Was that Ebonics? Yes.
But this is something that he talks about with the black community in America, is that they've been degraded over the years. Their culture has been degraded purposefully, and this is the way that a lot of them speak now, to the point that like you can't even have a conversation half the time. And this is what also makes
trying to
feel,
read what's being transcribed. I seriously, you heard me trying to go through that, and I was like blah 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 shit crap.
Yeah, right. Like the only thing that's intelligible is the swear word, right? It's like, I mean, it's insane. And that's the way that a lot of them talk. And then they sit there and they, a lot of them go like, well, gee, we see ourselves so differently. We're so different in culture, different in whatever. Well, no, you weren't really all that different going back like, 70 years ago. I mean, listen to like Martin Luther King give his speech. I mean, that's perfectly intelligible. I mean, but now it's like everybody just talks like this now in the black community. Well, not everybody, right? But like, a lot of people in the black community talk like this. And it's like, I mean, this is why you feel isolated, because your community, you have been isolated and dumbed down. You've been ghettoized and you have been dumbed down. And we all need to realize that, and they need to realize that, and need to, we need to get back up to the place that we once were. I mean, in Black America, the Black
educate
Americans.
your fellow, neighbors and community. You don't have to degrade each other. You don't have to sit there and talk like this. You can actually, create a regular human being conversation and just be like, I had such an issue trying to read that. Why somebody would actually want to actually speak like that and then think that they can actually go run for seat, run for a senator seat or a house seat, or it's a representative seat, whatever. So I mean, you'd get to actually listen to what she would actually, if she won that, you'd actually be able to listen to her by actually going to congress.gov and listening to this shit that would come out of her mouth. Is she going to be swearing on the House floor because she doesn't know how to speak any other way? No, I'm with you, Debbie. There's plenty of white people that speak the same way. I get that, because it's not a racial thing. It's the community not taking care of themselves.
Well, yeah, it's, and again, as I was saying, it's like a thing where, you know, and we talk about, like, you know, the Democrat plantation, the black plantation, the ghetto, the, you know, things like that. And this has been purposefully done. And now they've dumbed a lot of black Americans in these places down to the point where they can't even speak English. And now they're like, oh, it's fine. This is a black American language. This is a black cultural language. That's something that you whiteys want to make them speak normally or make them speak intelligibly. It's like, what the hell? Like, no, I mean,
It's
we just
not
want
even
them
what
to.
this is even about. What it's about, it really, though, is where she's trying to get this money from.
Well, right,
and why
exactly.
she's actually, and if you actually go and you listen, and it's the reason that I did this as opposed to doing the Veritas thing or whatever, is because, you know, Project Veritas, trying to do anything from them is really difficult. And I actually found something that was, you know, similar to it that I could actually try reading off of. And as you can see, it really didn't work very well. Toy Box says, bring me on board if you ever need to read something in Spanglish. I'll even do the hood accent too, Holmes. Thanks, Toy Box. No, I get that. We all have our own languages. We all speak our own, you know, we all have our own accents and we have our own words that we put to things or whatever. I get that. But speaking in it's not what the article is even about. It just so happened to come up because I had issues reading the paragraph that she actually spoke.
Well, right. And if you're running for office, you need to, like, you know, up your game there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't sit around and just do this
a
kind
little
of
bit.
And just the language
That's why I'm
aspect
not
of it, let alone
for
her
office.
claiming that she's going to get money from dope people, and, you know, people that sell drugs on the street and stuff, you know. So, yikers, as far as that's concerned.
Night. Have a good one, dude.
Oh, later.
Let's see. This one I'm gonna have to actually stop sharing and actually just share it straight out. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear what's actually being said because she actually has her own words for it. Karine Jean-Pierre, she's offered a trip to the border.
About the question about migrants, whether they have or haven't been walking across the southwest border, Senator Ted Cruz has publicly suggested that you come down to see that for yourself. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. He's suggested that you come down and see for yourself whether migrants are actually crossing the border by foot. Is that something that you would take him up on?
So I've been to the border. I went in 2018. Stood outside facilities where the Trump administration was separating families.
Oh my God!
Out of their mother's arms.
Oh my God!
Kids still haven't been reunited with their families.
Oh my God!
So one thing I will say is I certainly don't need lectures or invitations from Republicans about the border or border policies, and you know, and I certainly won't take advice on border from anyone who voted against securing record level of funding for the Department of Homeland Security. And,
oh my
and
God.
while folks are sending invites, I'll use this opportunity to invite him or anyone else next time to vote for record funding for DHS, as President Biden has requested. So we'll.
Oh, great.
Oh my God.
Shine on any of his activities, that should be a
hello there. It's like, oh, Rand Paul.
I certainly don't need lectures or invitations from Republicans about the border or border policies because I went there in 2018.
Yeah, that was 4
Not the same.
years ago.
Not the same at all. And I'm glad that she went ahead, like Mr. Malloy just said, blame it on Trump. Sheesh. Exactly. That's all they know how to do is blame it on somebody else. Oh, it had to be, look at what the predecessor did. He was ripping children out of the parents' arms. Like he was literally there doing that.
Yes, he was.
But yet not a single person from this administration has made their way to that border. Not a single one of them. You can say, oh,
because
yeah.
they know exactly what they're doing. Absolutely.
Right.
And they don't care how
you
many
can try
brown
saying that the
children
vice
get
president
cut
went there,
up.
but she did not go there. She was
Get
nowhere
cut up
near.
alive and have their organs harvested out of their dying bodies and sold on the black market. They don't care how many of those children die, and that happens to them. I mean, it doesn't matter how many of them get cut up and slaughtered like a slaughterhouse. It doesn't matter to these people. It doesn't. They don't care. They know exactly what's going on, and they don't give a shit because this is what they want to do. And then they'll sit there and gaslight you and say all this crap about you. And again, I'm saying this for those of you who weren't here before. There was a report with Sarah Carter on Fox News that we played where she interviewed somebody from the border, and that person was working with some of these drug cartels. They said that they harvest children's organs. They will sell children to people in the United States, and then they'll harvest those children's organs, or they'll harvest the organs and then they'll sell it. It's like a business. It's a business. Like, oh yeah, send your kids to the United States, have a better life. Oh yeah, and then your kid just gets slaughtered alive and has their body cut up and things. But hey, Kamala Harris is cackling and laughing. She thinks it's funny. She thinks it's great. Like, oh, I have to go to the border. Karine Jean-Pierre here is like, oh, I don't need Republicans telling me to go to the border. Okay, sweetheart, when you all get impeached and removed from office, I hope you're smiling after that as well, as the whole country looks at you in relation to dying children at the border that you are causing and directly benefiting from. Because we all know what this is. This isn't like, oh, we love these people, we want them to come to America. No, you want them to go into the hands of the drug cartels, and you want them to come into the country at mass and bring our country to the third world, collapse this country, and make this country a hellhole. With all of these crazy people that they throw up here at the border, along with just a bunch of poor people from the third world, just in general. So, as Trump said, they're not giving us their best, but also there's just a lot of poor people from the third world that don't speak English, and then they just swarm up here into the country, and that brings our country down and burdens us down. No country is able to handle that. So, I mean, that's a whole other discussion. But needless to say, this woman here is hitching her wagon to that. Just to let you all know, that's what she's hitching her wagon to, is children being harvested for their organs and sold into sex slavery, if not outright slavery, in different places in the world, by the way. Because like these people could just be in the United States. They sell them when they come across the border, and then, they're shipped off to another country somewhere. I mean, so, just so you know, she's hitching herself to child trafficking, human trafficking, the modern day slave trade, and organ harvesting from children. So there you go. There you go. Great career choice there. Shit, I just forgot her name. Jean Claire or whatever the hell. Karine Jean-Pierre. There you go. Thought of it there after a second.
Jean-Pierre. Yes.
Karine Jean-Pierre. There you go.
So, I mean, just to kind of move along here, whatever, we got a couple articles left here. This is White House COOF coordinator says you can get both your flu and your COOF shot at the same time. I really believe this is why God gave us two arms. One for the flu shot and the other one for the COOF shot. Oh, just straight out. That's what it is. They're trying to push it, but they're going to actually try getting you to actually take this Coof stuff once a year.
Oh, there's Dr. Anthony Faucisms in the background. He's there to tell you to take all of your jabs, kiddies.
Let's make the shot annual, just like the flu shot.
God, they make it bi-weekly at this point.
I mean, why not? Go ahead, do it, folks. Do what they want and see what happens.
I mean, right. I mean, at this point,
you've already seen what's already going on.
God
You're not paying attention and seeing what's happening. Open your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, just that statement alone, like God made two arms, one for the coof shot and one for flu shot or whatever. Like, I mean, just that statement alone is an atheistic freakazoid that hates God, mocking the idea of God and creation of God, and at the same time trying to take the position of God by saying, I am God and I will tell you what your arms are made for. Listen to me. Like, that's basically the mentality here. That's exactly what they're telling you. I mean, it's just unbelievable in your face. Just, hey, we're your new gods. Here's what your arms are made for, to take whatever the hell we give you. So shut up and take it, you peasant freak. You little peasant person that needs to be, ousted from existence because you're taking up my food.
Comment on there. Look at that.
Damn you.
COVID vaccine, geez, will now be recommended annually with the flu shot. I spoke with the White House yesterday about plan. Oh, really? You spoke with the White House about the plan, huh? Great.
Oh, who the hell's this guy? Oh, he's got
Andy
blue and gold
Slavitt.
there. God, it's the Ukraine thing.
Blue
Oh,
and gold with a check mark. He's got a blue check
libtard.
mark. Ooh, he must be something important.
Establishment crony, libtard. Get out of here. Get out of here. Move along. If it play Trump, get him out of here. Get him out. Get out. Go home to mommy.
So then, if you didn't want to go and see somebody about that, here you go. Biden admin is funding supply vending machines in rural Kentucky. You can just walk down the street and you can pick up whatever you'd like right out of the vending machine for your personal protective, whatever it is that you need, and you can actually take care of yourself right then and there. I'm with you, Michael Hagan, right here. Only shot I'm taking. It says the Biden administration is funding a harm-reduced kiosks in the Rust Belt, which will allow addicts to procure paraphernalia without having to interact with another human being. The administration will spend $3.6 million to test the effectiveness of the kiosks in rural Kentucky, according to the National Institute of Health. Great. It's not about that. It's about other things. You can... Addicted to this? Here's a machine. Come pay the government for your addiction.
Right, exactly.
Get him out of here. Get out. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Get out. Get out.
Oh, you know who has better words than Donald Trump? This guy.
You know how much? You know how much I'm going to do with the deficit this year? $1 trillion.
You do the.
You know how much I'm going to do with the deficit this year?
Okay. I don't want anybody sitting there telling me, "Oh, he's got a speech impediment." No, it doesn't. He never did. He's just old and doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Where the hell is this clip? I saw this. I just remember this. What the hell is this thing? Damn it. Gotta find this. Somebody clipped this. Just a couple of seconds. It's funny.
Sure.
Well, wherever it is.
Why you figure that out?
Ah, here we go. Found it.
Okay. Throw it up.
That's a little funny. It's a little fun.
Just a little bit of fun.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit
It's
of
the
fun.
same thing that he just said.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how much? You know how much I'm going to do with the deficit this year?
I'd say it's a pretty accurate representation at this point.
Trying to keep it on the light end here towards the end here. Just gotta make it a little bit of fun. We're almost done. Lauren Boebert fires back at Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin's parents really missed the mark by not naming her Karen.
Karen? That's the insult. Oh my God. I mean, that picture does kind of make her look like a Karen.
So we kind of hit on this or whatever, I believe, for a little bit. We actually spoke of Kathy Griffin or whatever, because, you know, her comment was, if you don't want a civil war, vote for Democrats in November. If you do want civil war, vote Republican. She was immediately called out by reporter Christina Wong, who said, sounds like a threat. Kathy changed her tune and tried to blame MAGA blue checks, but no one was buying it. She says, you guys, the MAGA blue checks are at it again because they're constantly threatening civil war, and they're now trying to suggest that I'm the one that's threatening a civil war because, you know, that's my thing.
Well, I mean, you did, imitate the severed head of Donald Trump
I've seen
when
that
he
there's
was
a couple
put into
people. Is this
office.
still funny
Kathy
and actually
Griffin,
doing it of Biden?
you royal bitch. So, like, shut the hell up.
So then Boebert comes back and
Pompous
says,
assed bitch woman. Dare I even call you a woman? You look
Did
more
you
like the creature
just
from the
identify
Black
her?
Lagoon. Yes, I damn well did. She's not a very good looking woman, by the way. She never was. She's ugly as hell, by the way. Just take a look at that. And the demons in her really don't make anything any better, for that, as far as that's concerned. But anyway.
So then Boebert comes back and says Kathy Griffin's parents really missed the point by not naming her Karen. The Civil War just because she doesn't get her way. Pathetic. Then Christian author Jeremy Capel said, the inherent message here couldn't be more clear. If you don't vote Democrat, there will be war. King George III had a similar message for the colonists just prior to our independence. Don't be bullied by Hollywood propagandists. And that's pretty much who Kathy Griffin is. She's a Hollywood propagandist. She's going to go around and she's going to spew bullshit that people are going to pick up on and be like, oh, it's Kathy Griffin. She's so this and that and the other. I just love her. Look what she's doing for us. She's speaking up for us because we don't know how to. And there's all of her comments on Twitter. It's really ridiculous and kind of funny that Boebert actually came back after her or whatever on that. And they missed the spot and they should have just named her Karen. Because that's what they should have done.
Yeah, and here just to further prove my point here. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this.
Lord,
look at this. Look at this.
Nobody wants to look at that.
I mean, like, God, she's ugly as
Sorry,
sin.
did we hurt somebody? Oh, we hurt him again.
I mean, and then she goes from like this one day, like halfway decent, I guess, to like, oh, look at that. Look at that. And then where's the other one? Like she doesn't even look real in that one. And then here's this one. God.
The million looks that she has.
I mean, look at that. Like
different in each every single one of them, but still fugly as can be.
I mean, God. I mean, like, I mean, look, like it looks like he chopped off her breasts or something there. You know, like, God. I mean, she's just ugly as hell. I mean, it's and then you compare that
Maybe
to.
she did. Maybe she wanted to remove those.
I mean, Bobert doesn't have a problem with that. We'll put it that way. Like
here you go. Mark Cuban reaches his limit with Elizabeth Warren. Screw you, Elizabeth Warren. You're everything that's wrong with politics.
Oh God, Mark Cuban, go to hell. Like you have no damn room to say a damn thing about anything. He sits here,
and especially not Pocahontas. You have no choice. Don't speak of Pocahontas like that, Mark Cuban.
Right. Chief Liawatha will have your head. I mean, like Mark Cuban has no room to talk about this shit. Like he constantly works with these people, with like, you know, the communist Chinese. He's like, oh, I'm socially liberal, but like I'm fiscally conservative. Or fiscally conservative, whatever the hell fiscally means. Like, there's no fiscally conservative. You either support this country, you're either America first, or you're not. And you're not, Mark Cuban. So screw off.
Hey, Super V, glad you could join us. See that she just come in here. So, I'm just gonna.
That's so perfect. That's exactly what she looks like, isn't it? That's literally what she looks like. She looks like Chucky the doll went trans and tried to have breast implants, but failed. Anyway,
I'm just gonna read through this real quick.
I mean, folks, Nancy
short
Pelosi has a better rack than she does. Like, I mean, it's that bad. It's that bad. I'm just
no,
saying.
she doesn't. Stop it. Quit
I'm
looking at Nancy Pelosi like that.
I'm just saying.
Why are you
I'm
looking
sorry, Tucker Carlson threw it up on national television again tonight.
You heard it here,
3 different
folks.
times.
Shirts likes Nancy Pelosi. Says she has a good rack.
Well, I mean, but Nancy Pelosi's is like I don't know, like water balloons or something. Like I don't. I mean, but notice like people like Lauren Boebert on the conservative side, like they don't have this kind of degenerate problem.
See, even Jess says it. Shirts, you're gross.
I mean, it's just a point, you know. Like I'm not endorsing Nancy Pelosi. You know, I'm sure they're full. I mean, they're chocked full of vodka. I mean, you know, it's got. I mean, you know, let's just be honest here. They're not water balloons. They're vodka balloons. It's like vodka storage. Says
she could never drown.
It's like a camel. Instead of 2 humps on the back, it's 2 humps in the front, and she's like storing her vodka. That's what that is. But anyways,
those weren't Pelosi's boobs. They were wine flasks made of
yes. It's so perfect. Comment of the week.
Yeah, we were going to try doing that, weren't we? Forgot about that. So here, real quick here. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban reached his limit with Dem Senator Elizabeth Warren today on Vox Media's Code Conference in L.A. Cuban said, "I don't mind being taxed more. I wrote a blog 20 years ago saying it's the most patriotic thing you can do after military service is pay your taxes because that's what allows everybody to live and to prosper. But yeah, the idea of soak the rich billionaire tears that fill that cup, screw you, Elizabeth Warren. You're everything that's wrong with politics. As for new energy among women..."
Mark Cuban.
As far as new energy among women voters are on Roe v. Wade decision, Cuban said, I think now, especially after Roe, women are stepping up. You know, why don't you start a political party and have nothing but women? You have so much power, so much strength, so much momentum with women. You don't need guys who look like me by a long shot. Nope, nobody does, Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's problem is not that I don't know what I'm talking about, Warren said earlier. Mark Cuban's problem is that I know exactly what I'm talking about. We need to change the laws so they're not written just by lobbyists for Mark Cuban and his buddies.
See, notice
Cuban,
both of these sociopaths can criticize each other accurately, right? And see, that's the thing you'll find is like whenever you see two nasty or evil people or narcissistic freakazoids or sociopathic nut jobs criticize each other, they're accurate about both of each other, right? Like you know, they look right at it and go, oh yeah, well I know how you work and I know how you operate, I know how you think, because they think the same way. And then they go off and they criticize them for different things, and then it's like, oh yeah, well you do this, and they're both right, they're both accurate. You ever notice that? You know, it's like when two people go off and like, oh yeah, but that's bad. It's like, yeah, I mean, they're both right. That doesn't make them okay people. It just means that they both know how each other thinks, and they both know how each other operates for very varying reasons. And you know, it's how that works. I mean, she's not wrong. He does have lobbyists there. He does do stuff there. I mean, you know, that is the thing. Like, he's one of these big business people. He's like, you know, he does this crap. He does this crap with the Chinese. He does all these different deals and stuff like that, you know, try to make all the money possible, slip and slide everywhere he can with all of his money. I mean, he's a sleazy dude himself. And she's right in criticizing him, but he's right in criticizing her. So it's like, well, both of you are right in this instance about each other, but you're both shit people. So, but it's just funny how, again, like I said, whenever you see two of these types of people go at each other, two sociopaths go at each other, they're always accurate about each other. They're never accurate about themselves, but they're always accurate at
just
criticizing
going
each other.
after each other, though, because Cuban says a few things. He says, I didn't think Elizabeth Warren knows at all what she's talking about when she deals with this. I think she just likes to demonize people that are wealthy, and that's fine. It's a great political move for her, but I just don't think that they really understand the implications of taxing unrealized gains. Warren also went after Elon Musk. She said of the guy who slept on his
And by the
factory
way,
floor
Mark
for
Cuban,
months straight. Hold on.
Mark Cuban isn't going to be paying taxes anyway because he knows how to get out of it. So like he can.
No, he knows what he's doing exactly. So she went after Elon Musk and says Elon Musk didn't make it on his own. He's got huge investments from the government, from taxpayers, from those public school teachers and those minimum wage workers who have been paying their taxes all along.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. I mean, as much as I appreciate some of the things that
pointing
Elon
out the
Musk said.
truth. I mean, it doesn't matter who you go after, you wretched old bitch. You can go after everybody that you want, but when it comes down to it, they're rich enough and they know what they're doing. They know where the taxes are going to be paid.
And again, the lobbyists, like, oh, his lobbyists in Washington. Liz, where the hell do you think you work? Oh, yeah, Washington. Where is lobbyists going? Oh, yeah, to you. Like, she knows why, because his lobbyists go to her. Like, I mean, like, it's just
Mr. Moore, it's not that all the rich know how to get out of taxes. It's that they know what monies are being taxed.
Right.
And when it is being taxed and why it is being taxed. They do pay their taxes.
Because they help draft the laws to do it, right? To benefit themselves.
Exactly. They know where these laws lay, and they know when they can actually, where they're going to, the taxes are going to be paid.
That's why they have all these foreign banks and everything else, is so they don't have to pay tax. They don't have to pay on different things. That's why they invest in certain assets and not others. So that way, the least amount of tax as possible, or if no tax at all. And a lot of these really, really rich people, I mean, none of the, like the Bill Gateses of the world, none of them pay taxes. Hell, they can just. It's cheaper for them to
Sorry,
just pay
Mims.
somebody
She's
off
like,
and not
she's
pay at
my
all.
senator. Oh,
Oh my God!
so sorry.
You poor thing.
Please learn taxes, please. Okay. I mean, if you don't know anything about taxes, yeah, you really should kind of know a little bit about something. Okay. I thought I heard something. Must have been on your side.
Who?
Oh, I thought I heard my Discord pop off, but it's not that.
Oh, I don't think anything buzzed.
Not on my side, anyway. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions or anything that they'd like to throw at us, anything at all, let us know now. And we will try answering any questions that we possibly can. If anything else, make sure that you check out AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com.
That is AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com with the most based shirts on the planet. You can get 15% off any of those shirts in the store with the discount code Koolfrogg. That is 15% off anything in the store with the discount code Koolfrogg. Surely get the new FBI Abolish the FBI t-shirt that I have available. There will be more shirts coming out as well. Go there and grab your shirts now, people. Also follow me on my Rumbles and my Locals and my Truth Socials and my Getters and a little bit of Twatters as well.
He wants you to follow him everywhere.
Check me out. Absolutely. Because you never know what might get cut off.
If you really wanted to find him somewhere else, you can find him on Telegram as well. Just as well as myself. Because, we do have everywhere. When I say everywhere, almost everywhere that we have locations on where you can actually find us. That being said, make sure you do check out buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. If that doesn't work out for you, there is a PayPal link. That being said, I'm going to actually check those real quick, be sure. Not that I'm expecting anything, because I don't expect anybody to do anything out of their own free will. If you can't afford it, please don't do it. And oh, I didn't see that yesterday. Thanks, Tish. You still with us? And let's check this one. That's on the PayPal side. An hour ago. Someone, whoever this someone is, thank you so much for the 10. That is awesome. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll send you a weekly allowance tomorrow. Ooh. Glad you had a good night. I don't see any more questions out of anybody. Give you a few more moments before we run away. This is AmericaShirts. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. It's already been done for you.
Huh? Oh well.
Yeah.
It's there again.
Anybody that is actually doing stuff for you, it's Jess. Jess is totally totally throwing out that Rumble channel for you several times tonight, even when you aren't even here. Telling you right now, you don't need to do that. She's got you, bro. If y'all haven't hit up any of those links, make sure you check them all out. We are almost everywhere. As far as that goes, the one place that a lot of people don't realize is if you actually hit up my Linktree/Koolfrogg, there's a ton of places. They're all there. Every single one of them. That being said, everybody say goodbye.
Later, peeps.
Later.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.